port is something that you can move from a place to another, and folio means papers of artifacts. As you already know, in the ancient times, artists are used to have any portfolio where they store their masterpieces, their better pieces, to show how they are good at painting or at designing buildings and so on. The e-portfolio is the modern tool that allows us to collect papers, artifacts, stuff that we can present in a variety of formats. And the portfolio is a place where we can assemble records, products of learning, or products of work to help an individual to show what he or she is able to do and to gain new work opportunities. So we can say that the portfolio is an old idea, but the e-portfolio is a new method to present someone competencies and someone abilities. And it is useful to help people to show what they are able to do, and for recruiters, for example, to have a clear vision of what a candidate is able to do. And this is a definition that can help us. The portfolio is a digital experiences and professional progress. As you can see, there are differences from a traditional CV, because a CV only tells what you are able to do, while in a e-portfolio, you are able to show what you are able to do. And there are evidence of your learning and of your skills, of your experiences. Moreover, any portfolio is a digital collection, so you can have a greater interactivity. And it's a way to show the continuous growth and the personalization that you can give to your learning path. What are the main objectives of any portfolio? Any portfolio is a tool to support reflective learning, but also a tool to improve communication of skills, a tool to improve digital skills of students. And finally, it enhances the chance of employability for each student. Other definition you can find in this document of some association active in a European context. Any portfolio is an aggregation of digital artifacts created by the learner, articulating and evidencing experiences, achievements, and learning. And these are some special features of e-portfolios. For example, e-portfolios are student-owned, so they are not a digital workspaces owned by the university, but each student is the owner of his own digital workspace. You can use this space to capture your learning and your ideas, to see the collection of work of the other. You can reflect on your learning. You can decide what to share and what to keep private. You can set goals and design a learning path as a sort of learning journey. When you decide what you are going to reach in the near future and what you are going to reach at the end of your learning path. You can also receive feedback on your learning, and you can showcase to others what are your learning achievements. This is an example of a page where the owner of this e-portfolio posted some videos, some images, some reflection about his learning, her learning in this case. What are the benefits of using an e-portfolio for professional growth? First of all, when you decided to upload something in your e-portfolio, you are required to reflect on this piece of on this document that you are posting in your e-portfolio. And when you reflect, you are learning. To stimulate reflective learning. Moreover, building an e-portfolio allows you to document what are you achieving. And yes, developing an e-portfolio is also a way to develop your professional identity, because while you are uploading your certificate, your skills, and your artifacts, you are reflecting about who you are and who you want to become in the future. And this helps to strengthen your professional identity and also to build a story about who you are and who you are going to become in the future. And this facilitates also a planning of your career, because perhaps now you are a teacher, but in the future you want to become a head of teacher, for example, or now you are an employee, but you are planning to start a new career. And having a look of what you are doing now and what you are going to do in the future, it helps to a career planning more with more awareness of what are your strengths and your weakness. Another important issue is about the relationship between e-portfolio and employability. When you are going to talk to someone who is going to offer you a job, you can demonstrate your skills in a concrete and visual way, because you are not telling, well, I'm very good at writing in Japanese, but you can show evidence of what have you done in the past. If you have some projects, feedback you have received, certification you have earned, but also a video when you show how you are able to write in Japanese. And it's a very powerful tool to demonstrate skill. You can also develop transversal skills like self-reflection, self-presentation, ability to argumentate on a discussion and to show what you are able to do and to say in some context. Moreover, some e-portfolios allow you to build a network between professionals who are sharing the same job or the same interest. And you can share your e-portfolio with colleagues, receiving feedback and giving feedback to them. So any portfolio can help to create a network and help to keep in contact with professional opportunities. But now let's have a look on how any portfolio works and what are the components of an effective e-portfolio. When you build an e-portfolio, there is a section where you put your personal data. So usually a picture, an image, a short biography, and a space where you can show your values, your goals, your education philosophy if you are a teacher. So there is a space where you can have a picture of who you are. Another important section is the space where you can give evidence of your skills. And you can put there example of work you have done, project where you have worked and that now are finished, but where you achieve some competencies of some result or some results. And another important part of the e-portfolio is a space where you can reflect on what you have done in the past. Finally, you can collect also feedback and references coming from your colleagues, your teachers, your supervisor, that in some way strengthen your professional profile, adding some advices or some news about your work and how you are able to do your work. It's important to underline that using an e-portfolio is a way to give the students a central role, because building an e-portfolio means to support self-directed learning and allow students to develop ability of self-assessment, because when you look at what you have done, you are able to evaluate what you are doing, and you are developing some self-assessment skills. Moreover, as an e-portfolio is a digital platform and a digital tool, it promotes the use of digital technologies and develop a digital literacy and some competencies about using digital tools and digital technologies. Finally, also for teacher is a good way to develop a personalized teaching, and not only a teaching made of telling some contents, but a way of teaching where you can encourage students to make activities and to create artifacts that they can use to build their e-portfolio. Of course, choosing to use an e-portfolio, it's a whole curriculum approach. It's not just a tool, because there is no technology, no tool that can change the learning and the teaching if you are not aware of what this technology, what this tool can add to your teaching. So it's not technology that can enable learning, but technology can be the catalyst of learning if you are able to link the tool and the technology to your institutional strategy and to your curriculum approach. A teacher who would like to use an e-portfolio should design his work to introduce the e-portfolio e-portfolio in his or her activities and not as external tool, because if you think that the e-portfolio is something that it's outside the school environment and that students can develop by themselves, it's very probably that you will fail in your project. Because if students are not able to understand the importance and the usefulness of this tool, it's very difficult that they will use it properly. Some researchers speak about an e-portfolio-based learning. What does it mean? An e-portfolio-based learning is the process of planning, compiling, sharing, discussing, reflecting, giving and receiving feedback that take place when you use an e-portfolio. And that's why Ellen Barrett, another researcher, tells that an e-portfolio is both a process and a product, because at the end you have the product, you have your digital CV and your showcase portfolio that you can use to show to the other what you have done. But most important of the result is the process, the way you build and develop your personal portfolio, because you can appreciate the result, and any portfolio as a product can provide learners with a personal space to evidence their experiences, to collect digital artifacts, to articulate their learning. But when you think at the e-portfolio as a process, you have a tool that enables learning to move beyond what they have learned and pushing them to think about how they have learned these things and what are they going to learn in the future. Reflection is the critical process that supports students in the creation of an e-portfolio. And another important issue is the dialogic nature. Usually the results of the e-portfolios are shared with the class, with the teachers, and there is a conversation. There is a movement between students and teachers, students and peers, where you can start a discussion about what you're learning and what is going on, what is well done, and what can be improved. This is a model of how can work an e-portfolio-based learning, starting from the Kolb cycle that is based on the reflection on experience. As you can see, at the center of this representation, there is the experience of the students in the conceptualization of the students, but the very core of the experience is the dialogue. And starting from the experience, you can record, organize, and plan your learning path. You can construct new meaning. You can select what is the more important thing you want to share with the others, and you can publish for receiving feedback and giving feedback to the other. So in this movement, there is the learning experience of a student who develop his own e-portfolio. And finally, these are the potential benefits. Building an e-portfolio, engage and motivate learners. building an e-portfolio means that you can decide what is the look and feel of your e-portfolio. So you can personalize your learning and you can feel owner of your learning path. As we have already said, the e-portfolio promotes a reflective practice, can show progress and achievement more visible, can promote a personal development planning, so it enforces your ability to plan your future and your personal development plan, can support your learning and the giving and the receiving of a regular feedback, regular formative feedback. It's useful also to increase the retention of the thing you have studied. It's useful also for inclusion, because using digital tools and using videos and audios can help non-traditional learners or people with some difficulties regarding learning, such as dyslexic people, for example, to showcase their learning in a different way, not only reading and writing, but also with multimedial artifacts. It can support collaboration, collaborative learning, and it can capture the experience also in the informal context, because you can put in your e-portfolio also evidence coming from experiences outside the university or the school environment, for example, volunteering, societies and clubs, because not only in the university happens the learning, but we all know that some important learning are achieved outside the university in informal and non-formal context. You can use any portfolio for assess the learning of the students, but also as a tool of a personal development planning, a tool to develop and evidence skills, generic skills, transversal skills, as the ability to collaborate or the ability to write a presentation, but also specific skills needed for some specific work. You can have a look of how is going the learning of your students. And you can use the e-portfolio for career development and employability, to record progress and set goals, and also to give feedback about what is happening during the portfolio. Here in the picture, you can see that more or less each e-portfolio is made of a repository where the students can store resources and the evidence of his learning. There are some tools to support the processes, and then there are some documents that the students can build, can construct, to use with different audiences. With the same stuff, with the same evidence, you can build, for example, any portfolio for your peers to show them what you have done in the last year, but also with the same documents, or choosing some of the documents, you can develop any portfolio for your head of the department, where you can highlight what are your skills and your best work that document your skills. You can have another portfolio for another purpose. For example, to find a new job, and there you can highlight different skills. For example, in any portfolio for looking a new job, you can evidence what are your abilities in a specific field, in a specific work. And you can make different portfolios using the materials you have collected in the repository. As Penn State University synthesize, is a movement that starts from the collect phase, where you collect materials. Then you choose the best materials useful for your aim, and there is a selection. You reflect on what you have done, and then you can publish the results. When you project, when you design your e-portfolio, you have to put in mind some questions. What is the purpose of this e-portfolio? What is going to assess? How it align with the learning outcomes of my degree course, of my learning path? If you are a teacher, you can ask, what are we going to assess? I would like to assess the result, the product, or the process. This tool fit with our approach to assessment. In this module, what I need to assess, and the portfolio the right tool for the assessment in this module, how many artifacts should I request? How many pieces of work should I need to assess properly this module? Should the student upload audio or video? How long this audio and video should be? How should it be structured? Because if you start with a clear task, it's easier for your student to understand what they're going to do and what they need to do to complete the task. What artifacts should be uploaded? What kind of activities could we support? Any portfolio could contain a personal biography, pieces of writing where you reflect on what you have done. It could be just a summary of what you have read or what you have studied. It could be like a video diary, a blog or a vlog. It could contain infographic, word cloud, photo from your work. It could be also a space where you can brainstorm with your friends and look like a Padlet where you can put thoughts and activities. You can post a short film or an annotated biography. You can put on your CV. You can reflect with your peers, with your friends, on a group project, or on a work placement. So there are a lot of different artifacts that you can upload to your portfolio. Basically, you can upload all you need, everything that you think could be useful to documentate, to show an evidence of what you have learned, of what you have done in a fixed period. And this is some example. Here you can see a word cloud, a digital novel. a video where you can show what you have done in a project you have done with your classroom. Or this is a Padlet where you can put pics about the thing you have studied in a course or in a semester. This is a digital representation of what can be done with a student's e-portfolio. It can contain photos, a resume, a report card, and all this stuff is private. You can give access, if you want, to possible people who are interested in seeing some of your stuff, like potential employees, friends, family, teachers, and so on. All this data will be accredited by your university, and you can use your e-portfolio to show how you have achieved the aims of your institution. So your e-portfolio could be a tool that help your institution to understand what you have learned and to assess your learning, but can also be a personal tool that students can use to show to the external world outside the school and outside the university what are their abilities and their competencies. Here you can see all the opportunities the students have to and what they can do using any portfolio. So document learning, model professional practices, think beyond, develop their learning objectives, create a permanent record of what they have achieved, but also think critically, communicate, learning, and all these things can be achieved using properly any portfolio. And these are some thoughts that learners, that students share at the end of 1 year of using any portfolio. I thought I had an interesting story to tell. It was something different. Everybody's will be different, but I thought there was a fair bit of unique stuff in my little story. It was a lot of fun. I learned as I was doing it and was amazed by the whole outcome. It helped me analyze the type of learner that I am. It gave me new perspective on how to go about studying or doing assignment. Well, as you can see, students highlight the uniqueness of their e-portfolio because they can develop as they want. They can develop the representation as they want. They can choose the font, the colors, the look of the page, and they feel owner of their space. It's not a unique space and equal for all, but each student can personalize and decide how to use this space to better represent his feeling, his story, his learning path. There are a lot of systems that can allow you to build an e-portfolio, and there is possible also to build by yourself using, for example, Google Sites or other. These are some e-portfolio developed by some developers. Some are open access and open source, other are developed by a firm, and they are distributed after a payment, so you have to pay to use it, like for example PeoplePad or TaskScream, while Elg and Mahara are open source, and of course if you use the Google Apps you can develop a Google site e-portfolio by yourself. Challenges and opportunities. Of course, building an e-portfolio is a time-consuming activity. So you have to decide to use your time for design it and to maintain it. And this can activate resistance from students and from teachers, because it's well, it's a time-consuming activity. So you have to choose to use your time to choose the materials, upload to the portfolio, maintain and refine what you have written and what you have done. There are also some issues related to data security and privacy, because as I said, there is a space where you can upload your materials, and you don't want that your materials became public and that everybody can see what you have uploaded. But there are also a lot of opportunities, because lots of e-portfolios, for example, can be integrated inside the university learning management system. For example, if you use Mahara as an e-portfolio, you can integrate Mahara inside Moodle, and you can benefit about the single sign-on and the privacy policies of your university. You can also customize your e-portfolio for different professional sectors. So now we can see some examples of different e-portfolios used by different professionals. At UniMC, we used a simple model for e-portfolios that is basically made of 3 phases. The first is the selection. You collect your materials, you decide who are the final destination of your materials, and you select, you choose the best, the more interesting, the more well done stuff to create your e-portfolio. The second phase, perhaps the most important, is the reflection, where you can have a look of your selected materials and connect them. You have a lot of fragments. You put all these fragments together to realize a unique picture. So you connect these materials and you explain, using your reflection, what each materials mean. Finally, you can publish the results and you can showcase your results to a public. The first step, as I said, is the collection step. You choose what you want to upload to your e-portfolio, and you can choose personal materials, document you have written, something you have created, a picture, a tool, what you want, or also materials from others. For example, observation of other colleagues, stuff you have read. So you can put in your e-portfolio your materials, but also materials from others, because the presence of different materials can help you to make a comparison between these materials And you can have a feeling of coherence, of a feeling of diversity, but you can reflect and be aware of your professional action. For example, uploading your exercise and the exercise of another colleague who did better his exercise can help you to improve your own exercise or your own text, for example. In the reflection phase, you have to construct a map or a page or a story with the materials you have collected in the previous phase. This narration, this tale represent the evolution of your competencies, can help you to understand if you are acting in the same way. For example, if you are a learner that use the same pedagogical pattern, the same learning path, every time you have to learn something new. And this help to build your own identity as a student, as a future teachers, as a future engineer, or as what you are going to become. In this phase, students create a view that is a web page where they decided what they want to show to a selected public and where they make visible some of their artifacts and some of their reflections. Each piece of work must be accompanied by a commentary and a reflection. And this is the most important moment. It's the heart of the portfolio, because rethinking of what you have done in a different time helps you to discover your potential in terms of learning. Researchers tell us that the reflexive processes are at the heart of the professionalization pathways, because it helps the learner to understand what they are doing. The reflection helps to create a network between the artifacts and the procedures, and helps the students to understand better if they have reached their objectives or if they are still struggling to find the best solution to solve problems and difficulties. The final phase allows students to identify their objectives that are already achieved and the next goal where they are going to work in the next future. They have in this phase a comparison between the standard, the competency profiles, and what they have achieved. And in this way, they can decide what it needs to be done for their professional improvement. So basically, here we have a competence profile that we need to reach, and students have a look of what they have done and what they have already achieved and what needs to be done in the future. Here in University of Macerata, I've used for a long time e-portfolios in the primary school teacher degree. And this is a 5-year degree, so it contains the bachelor and the master degree in the same course. Starting from the first year, students develop their e-portfolio where they store artifacts and documents related to the learning path. At the end of each semester, for the 5 years of the course, They create and share with the teacher and peers one view, one web page that summarizes their learning and their growth in the teaching professionalism. Finally, at the end of the course, after 5 years, they created a collection of pages, so 4 pages, where they are able to demonstrate their teacher identities and their acquired competencies. We used Mahara, that is one of the platform I have showed before, and this platform allows us to create, to share, and to engage people in this process. I can show you some example. This is of a student that completed her degree. As you can see, you can log in this platform and see this work. If you are not a member of University of Macerata, you cannot log in and you cannot see. So there is a privacy policy that can protect students' data. As I have already said, this is a collection made of 4 pages, and you can navigate the pages with this simple arrow. Of course, it is an Italian student, and the writing is in Italian. But you can see that there is a presentation. My name is Laura. I have a degree in Beni Culturali and Tourism. And these are some pictures of what she have done during the course. Here you can see a final text where they discuss what she have learned during the course. And these are some tables that show what are the 10 main competencies of a future teacher that she have to develop during the course. As you can see, we have some text documents, some images, and in the next page, she reflects about the learning environment. This is some reflection where she discuss how she transformed. At first, she feel as it was tied to a strict routine. And finally, she became free to move and free to establish a positive relationship with the children. In this page, she shows what she has done for becoming a good teacher, what she learned about learning to hear the children, what she have done to create interesting activities, and finally, she reflects on his professional trajectory. New point of view, what she have learned, and what she have done as a major teacher for her students. This is an activities she has done, and this is, as you can see, there are images linked to other resources and text where she recall and narratives where she show what she has done. Another example is from a first-year students, and you can see how different students compose different pages. Here, the colors and the fonts are very different. And she decided to use, for example, gray colors, simple fonts, and to build the view of her first year of studies. Here, there is a picture about a work she have done outside the university in a summer camp with children. But for her, it was an important experience, and she decided to put this experience in her e-portfolio. Here you can find experiences from his university lessons, what she have done, presentations, and other stuff. An article she read that was very important for her, and some other tool she developed during the course. But now we don't have time, but I leave you some other example of e-portfolio that you can navigate from other university. For example, here you can find some portfolios of students in electrical engineering, in microbiology and molecular genetics, in kinesiology, just to show that each university can use this tool also in different learning paths. This is a teaching portfolio of an engineer, a future engineer, and we can see that for each competence, the students make a description of the competencies, posted some artifacts, for example, the course syllabus and so on, and some pieces of reflection. Here you can see the look and feel of the pages. That is very different from a student to another. Well, perhaps it's not running, this one. But this is to show that you can personalize your e-portfolio, and you can make a page that is a portrait of you, a portrait of your skills. And you can see, for example, Justin Field, and this is a portfolio of this. This is a PeoplePad e-portfolio, and this is more complex, as you can see. Well, a video where he presents himself, a story of his career, a curriculum vitae, and a lot of contents that you can navigate if you want to know more about Justin Field. I think that it's not possible to see all the examples, but I hope you have reached somehow an idea of what any portfolio should be. What are the steps to create your portfolio? Choose a platform or develop your own platform. Organize the content clearly and logically. Update your section to reflect your progress, and seek continuous feedbacks. Develop your e-portfolio, you should ask yourself some questions. Is my system robust and able to handle a large number of submissions? How will lectures comment your portfolio? How could this portfolio be used? External examiners should access our portfolio. How will lecturers could be sure of the digital evidence is authentic? Who can access the portfolio? So there are password security, privacy issues to solve. Does your system support anonymous marking? And do your students have the necessary skills to produce any portfolio? Basically, now students are able to use social software, and this kind of portfolios are more or less at the level of a basic social software. So there are no needs to advanced ICT skills. But someone could encounter some difficulties to use the e-portfolio platform, especially the more complex e-portfolio platform. Finally, and concluding, we can remark that the e-portfolio is a dynamic and flexible tool for personal and professional growth. It requires time to create, but it brings significant benefits for employability. And institutions, teachers, and companies who have promoted the systematic use of any portfolio state that it is a valuable tool to develop a rich and reflective professional identity. So it worth the time. If you want, I can leave some references to understand more in depth experiences and way of using different e-portfolios. But if you want,
Thank
of
you,
course,
thank you,
I can
Lorella.
answer
That was
your
really,
question.
really thorough, precise, very much detailed presentation of the portfolio.